on, everybody? Cruddy Kid Fanatics back here again. Today we got another very special guest, Jeff Holbrook. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The
uh,
three letters and only one F. Sometimes,
yeah, yeah,
I get a lot of Jet or Jed.
yeah. Drew from Cobra Kai season 4. How are you doing today?
More of a clear milk truffle Gouda.
Let me go look.
So you might want to leave the girl alone. Or deal with the consequences.
Mrs. Luriso, found that Gouda. Last one, too, must be your lucky day.
Good. Life is weird and cheesy and great.
Cheesy. Yeah. So before we, get into Cobra Kai and some of your other past work, when did you decide you wanted to get into acting?
But I think so my dad, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, and my dad got like a video camera from a pawn shop, and I started making a bunch of home movies with that, like parodies of stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this is pre-YouTube, of course. So I did that, and I made movies all the time, and I learned to edit. And eventually, my sixth grade teacher was like, "We should let this kid audition for like a play." So we went to the opera house in town. I didn't get it, and then I auditioned for something else, and I got it. And from the age of 13 on, I just hadn't stopped. But I hadn't started doing TV and stuff until like 2010, 2009, something like that.
So can you remember when your scene was filmed for Cobra Kai?
Ugh. I know it happened. There's video proof that it happened. Um,
Yeah,
which you never know, right? Like A, you can't talk about that you're going to be on the show, and B,
right.
you don't know until it airs. No, I don't remember when it was. But I remember that it was first day of season 4. And
Oh
everyone was
wow.
super, yeah, yeah. Imagine, like, because I'm nobody, and then like you're here, and I've been kind of watching like the auditions, like you kind of, it's one of those shows that you really want to book, and I
Absolutely.
sort of figured it's not going to happen, for me. Just like I don't know that I'll ever book Walking Dead because I look a little too healthy to have survived a zombie apocalypse.
That's very true.
But no, so it was the first
Have to get
day.
you in the makeup department.
That's right. Yeah, get me lean. You know. No, so it was the first day,
Yeah, yeah.
and everyone was so excited that it was the first day, and they're like, "Oh, here we are, we're doing this thing," and it was cool to be sort of like part of that energy.
For
Um,
sure.
and it was, for me, it was. I think it was just the one day of work, and it was stupid fun. I mean, stupid fun. I loved it. And
I
wait a
think
minute.
they I can't
Yeah. No, hit me, Drew.
I don't mean to interrupt. I think they do the type of shooting where they shoot 2 episodes at a time. I can't remember what that's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah, the
called.
block shooting. Another guy you had on, who's friends with a friend of mine, was talking about that. Oh, what was it?
Matt Lewis.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's friends with my friend Jamie Howard. Um, I watched a little bit of his episode of your show. I don't know if you've ever had Suhaila on, but she was
Yeah, I
on.
have.
Okay, so she's a good friend of mine. She was on in the early days when it was a YouTube
Yeah,
series, a YouTube Red,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Isn't that wild?
yeah.
You
She's a
know.
crazy karate mom.
Yeah, she's great. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She's fantastic, and she's doing all kinds of stuff. It's neat watching a lot of your friends and a lot of these Atlanta folks, kind of land on the show. It's just so rad.
yeah.
I have a weird little story if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So I did a lot of theater for a long time, and what was funny about the day that we shot is we were at a grocery store, and yeah, I think they shut down an actual grocery store. And so the bit. I mean, my bit's so short. I pop in, I say some lines about cheese, I go away, I come back, I say some lines about cheese,
Yeah.
mostly just
Mostly
to
come
break
back.
the tension, right, with them. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, right. So that's all it is, right? Which is a lot of my life. I come on a show, I do a couple of words, and I go away, and it's a good life. I like it. But what
Absolutely.
was funny about this day is it felt like a throwback to doing a play again, because since we're in the grocery store, and there's not a lot of navigable space, as far as the way the shelves are and this, that, and the other. They had things locked off for the wide shot, and they had her close up, and they could turn around, they do his. And I was sort of part of in her world, in the wide and the whatever. But there was this shelf that I went to, this thing of shelves. And so I would
Right.
go, I would do my bit. I would go hide behind the shelves. I would wait. I would listen. I would listen. And I'd come back out and I'd do my bit again. And it was so much like being backstage at a play, except that everyone's very quiet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the story.
Kind of reminds me, like, I was hearing, like, in the season 3 fight, they were having to do that because, like, one person be fighting, and you're like little sequence whatever, and you just have to hide behind something. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of that.
Absolutely.
I died for some show once. I bang bang bang, and then shot, and I die, and then you just gotta stay under the counter and wait for the rest of the scene to go on, and then are we done? I don't know.
Yeah. So, what was it like, getting to work with Courtney on the scene?
Oh, she's so funny. She's super funny. Like she is just everything you'd hope it would be when you work with somebody. Like she was just for one thing, just always, hitting the intents of the scene, always keeping, it's the job, keeping the scene going, of course. But then between things, like just keeping the day light. She was just really great at just keeping the day light. And it was fun. We had a lot of banter between takes. I think she has a very good sense of like verbal humor. Like you could tell her mind is just always a step ahead of most other people's in the room. So it's fun to just kind of bant back and forth between takes. But I mean, most of my day was, we do this, and then I hang out and hold cheese while they, reframe or whatever. And so that's most of the time that we got to talk. It was great. It was fun. It was just easy. It was easy to work with him. So she was great.
Absolutely. Do you get to interact with Martin at all? I know he was towards the end of your scene. I wasn't sure,
No.
You got to interact with him at all?
I mean, like, they're always there, like in passing, come by and
yeah. Hey,
like
how you
not
doing type thing.
well, and it's also COVID, and like I wanted to be super respectful of.
For sure.
I want everybody to be comfortable. You know how it is. I just want everybody to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
We did like have one little chat, and it was nice. But I kept it short, and because he's working, and he's got scenes and all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
I just want to keep it short, out of respect for them, and also you want it, at least for us, when you land on a show, like you want it to be just like you're just a couple of folks at work, just kind of doing your job.
For sure.
And it was nice. I don't know if that's what you were hoping to hear, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with your Cobra Kai filming experience, what was your favorite part of it?
Oh gosh, I'd say the when we're not actively filming, that just the banter between takes, just getting to feel like you're part of something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh great, I'm here's Amanda LaRusso, who in the audition sides was like Del Vecchio or something like that. They fake you out with a name.
Dummy. Yeah.
But I had a feeling. I was like, I think this is, because the way it rolls off the tongue. That was my favorite part. I think was not feeling like a fish out of water on set. Being like, oh, okay, this is great. This is easy. But again, my day was so short. Why? I'm so curious. What got you? Like, I grew up with the films and stuff, but what got you so into this world enough to start this kind of a show?
Yeah, so I'd seen the 3 films, growing up. I was always a big fan of it. And then the show came out, big COVID lockdown. Had nothing to really do because I wrestled, but that was all shut down. So I kind of had to find something to do before I went crazy in the house. So it was like, I mean, I was able to, like, I was doing 2 and 3 interviews a day, sometimes, with the COVID. So it was great.
That's very cool. Very cool. Do you have any other like fandoms that you're deep into like this, or was this the one that really like took off for you?
I mean, not to this level. I mean, I have like another podcast I've done like 3 episodes on with interviews, but that's just from various things. But
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so when it comes to you for Cobra Kai, this is I guess like a as a fan question. Are you team Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, or Eagle Fang?
I I have such a fondness um for Pat in the old films, and so um I think I think the Miyagi Do because um I just because of the from what I remember, and again, most of my stuff is going to come from the original films.
For sure, yeah,
Is the ethics that sort of that they instilled. Um, he did such an amazing job, with the Mr. Miyagi character, and then the script, and then just the heart and the ethics that went through all of that. I can just imagine from what I have seen of the show that the Miyagi Do it seems to be more about defense and care and don't strike first and that
absolutely.
kind of stuff. And that's definitely where I live.
Have you seen his documentary?
I haven't. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's more than Miyagi. Kevin Derrick guy had on the channel. It's really good. It goes deep into like he grew up like in internment camps and how he was rose to fame. It's really good.
Yes. I knew a little bit of his history. Yeah, yeah. And I think I've seen the documentary thumbnail fly by on what's it streaming on?
So do like Apple, Amazon
Yeah, yeah,
Prime
yeah.
too, I think.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, so for you, I've seen you've been like a actor, cinematographer, writer. How do you go to all these different types of places in the industry?
Um, like as in how do you book work or how do you switch gears in your brain
No,
or
like
what is it?
how is it like? So like, how is it tough for you to transition? Is what like sort of what I'm asking there.
Oh, that's a good question. No, you see all this stuff back here. I spent a lot of time as an editor, and I became an editor to become a better actor, which sounds weird. Um, but it worked. So see, the thing is like I don't have I'm not that leading man type, right? I'm not that
For sure.
guy.
Yeah.
So anything that I'm going to be in, I'm going to be like best friend sidekick or if I'm going to be something outside of type, like I really have to kind of fight to get seen that way. And so at some point when I was younger, and maybe this just comes off of dad and the pawn shop and the video camera and the whole movies that we used to make because I used to edit VHS tapes. I had
Oh
two tape
wow. Yeah.
decks. I'd edit A B back and forth. I was 11. And then my
Wow.
dad got a cheap computer from somewhere and I learned Photoshop and I used to animate frame by frame like lightsabers and special effects and that kind of stuff to put in like the little home movies I was making. Anyway, to kind of try to answer the question, I've always been this way that because I knew I wasn't really like leading man type, I figured I'm going to have to make my own stuff. So I
Absolutely.
tried to learn everything I could in order to make my own stuff. I learned how to write, I learned how to edit, I learned how to shoot, I learned how to light, um, all of it, sound, all of it, over a long, 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 long period of time. Always working on some dumb little project that I'm trying to make uh, to get better at doing that, so that I can. If no one ever puts me in something that's like up there, maybe I can make something that people will
Absolutely.
care about. So it's not hard because it's just kind of how my brain's always been. I will say I do notice that it's really really helpful on set because you understand. Am I even in the shot? Number one, uh, I need to leave some space before I jump into my next line because they need this breath to edit in on or the particulars of
Definitely.
like all of that kind of crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's just holistic. It's just always kind of there. So it's not so much code switching as it's just integration. It's just what it is. I don't know if that answered your question.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen, where you wrote a project. So, going in the future, you want to write some more, films or, some maybe a pilot or of a show or anything.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, we've got something that's coming out this month. That I put a trailer up for called Grounds, and that was one of those I didn't write that one, but produced it and shot it and cut it, and my wife and I are even in it. And so that's one of those. But uh, I do a lot of like animation and a lot of comic books. You know, I used to,
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I used to create. So back when e-readers first came out, black and white e-readers, like when the Kindle, I mean, first came out.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I
yeah,
remember
I was
Kindle.
up in the front of the line making comics specifically to be read on Kindles, because I didn't feel like anyone was doing that, and it was an easy way, and they're black and white. And I took those comics, and they did pretty well. And then I would animate. I animated like a season of them, and I've been sitting on season 2 of this thing called The Cricket for years. And I talking about things I wrote. That's something that I wrote, and I'm drawing it now, and I'm animating it, and we've got a lot of the voices recorded already and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm always going to try to be making something. Either hopefully folks are going to put me in stuff, but if they don't, I'm going to be trying to make stuff, and I don't know that that's ever really going to change. I have some stuff coming out this year that I didn't make, but I can't talk about any of that yet. But um,
NDAs, yeah,
yeah, you know how it is. Yeah. So I'm
yeah.
happy. I'm happy. People put me in stuff, and but I gotta keep making stuff because creatively, I don't know, I have to.
Well, one thing about, when you write your own stuff, you tell yourself what to do, not what the director wants, or, I
Sure,
mean,
sure,
yeah,
sure. But then you have a different problem of you're like, is it any good?
yeah, it
That's
is
why you've
true.
got to
That
take
is
the
true.
stuff and you've got to get it out to, people you trust to say, maybe you're being self-indulgent here, or maybe you're not giving yourself enough room or credit to do something interesting here, or I've always seen you play this type. Here's a chance for you to do something different, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I seen, where you appeared on Black Lightning. What was it like to be able to appear on the show?
That's
I've seen a
great.
few episodes of it. It's a pretty good show.
Yeah. That was fun. That was super fun. That was my second time working with the Achilles. And I wish that Will Catlett had been on that episode too, because I worked with him and the Achilles on a show called Love Is, which was on OWN for a little while. And so that was my first experience with them as a creative, team. And Sam kind of directed that show and stuff. Directed Black Lightning. Um, it was wild. It was wild because it was my first my first show where it was like a large chunk of the episode. I'm partly responsible for. Again, like I
Oh,
said,
wow,
I
yeah.
played this, the secondary guys, this, that, or the other, but like, I was the bad guy. It was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And it was supposed to be a backdoor pilot. I don't think the show got picked up, but it was just wild, because I did a whole, week of work. Again, my life is normally pop in for a day, pop out. Um, and it was just the coolest thing. I got to do, I got to have like fake blood, and I got to,
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
do tech. I had this whole green screen extravaganza. There's a scene in this like phone booth in this Blade Runner looking, you know, place, and it was all green screen and giant crane cameras, like moving into your eyeball and moving out and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
It was just wild. I felt like I was making Star Wars. It was great.
Yeah, so I know you said, you want to appear on The Walking Dead, but what's another, I guess,
I don't think I'll ever
dream?
be here. I'd be like,
they're
he
about
doesn't look
they're
like he
about
can run fast enough. Yeah,
they're
zombies got him.
they're about done with it though, aren't they? Aren't they like the final season?
Oh, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, they
TV is
always
magic.
continue it.
Yeah, and
But
I think
what's
there's shows in that universe.
for sure? What's another dream role you have?
I don't. I don't really do dream roles because I don't know what's out there. I want to do something that's new. I spend a lot of time in theater, and in theater, you always do stuff that already exists. Um, and what I like about film and TV is there's something new. I can tell you though, franchise wise, if I could ever get on a Star Trek in any way, I'd be super happy. I think that would be like life goal. Like, put me on a Star Trek. I don't care if, I'm a red shirt and I die in 5 minutes. It's fine. Just
Yeah,
get me on one of those. I'd be happy.
yeah. Are you have you watched any of the? I know I'm talking about Star Wars now. Have you seen any of the new Boba Fett show?
Not yet. I've seen all of The Mandalorian, but we haven't started Boba Fett yet. Is it good?
I haven't seen it either. I've seen the
Okay.
trailer. I know I'm probably gonna wait till like all the episodes drop so I can just go through and watch it
I
all
hear
at
it.
the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll be curious about it. I don't love Boba Fett the way I don't love Boba Fett the way everybody else does.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
when initially I heard about the Mandalorian, which I was like, oh, okay, I don't know, and then we watched the Mandalorian. I was like, this show is fantastic. We'll
Oh
see about
yeah.
Boba Fett. I think people like it. We'll see if it does anything for me for the character. But
Yeah, I seen where you were on a Redeem. Did you get to work with TC Stallings on that?
ooh, he was on it. I mean, it was his show. I didn't have any scenes with him though. That was a movie with me and my wife were in that movie, and it was actually in our hometown. There's two movies like this where that me and my wife were both in that were shot in our hometown that we helped work on as well, which is so wild. It's another one of those things when you kind of do everything, and they're friends of
Absolutely.
ours who made that movie actually, and we're working with them on some distribution stuff too. So it's just wild when you do other stuff, and they're like, hey. You guys have agents and our actors and stuff. Like, yeah, like we have a couple of, parts. Can you pop in and do them? I'm like, yeah, sure. Great. Um, so that's stupid fun. We did, my wife and I did this movie and it was so wild. Where it's this Bruce Willis movie and we were in this convenience store and she gets like shot in the head. So I have to watch my wife take
Yeah.
after take. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But then I get mad. I'm like, "Rah, bah, 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 bah," because I'm so tough, apparently. But anyway,
Yeah. Oh yeah. An actress as well.
yeah,
So your
yeah, well,
wife's an
that's
actress as
it's
well?
in the family. Yeah, that's a family biz. That's what we both do. She's also a producer. She's also a writer. Same thing.
Hopefully we'll see her on Cobra Kai soon.
That would be pretty rad. Then we can be a
Yeah.
Cobra Kai family.
It'd
Yeah.
been it'd been crazy if y'all would have been in the same scene or something, get to play like
We
husband and
usually
wife
are.
on screen.
In most of the
Yeah.
projects we do, we're usually in the same scene. And it's so weird.
Have
It's
y'all
great.
played have y'all got to play like spouses in a film or anything yet?
Yeah, yeah. We have a commercial running right now for Regions Bank, where we're spouses talking about a mortgage. I'm trying to think if there's other times. She's gonna kill me. I bet there are, and I can't remember. Oh, she'll get me later. But
Uh,
we work together a lot, which is it
that's
really is
awesome.
unusual, but it's really nice. It's really nice to just get to be together on set. Makes the day a lot easier.
Did y'all meet like on set or something, or did y'all meet, like away from that?
Kind of. We were on opposite sides of the country. She was in Oregon and I was in Florida, and we both left, and we both ended up back in the Atlanta area. We knew each other. Actually, we knew each other as kids, and then spent all this time apart, and we met together again in the Atlanta area in a play, and we're like, where have you been for the past blah blah years? Where have you been? And one thing led to another, and then we're married. So, you know,
Yeah.
showbiz.
Yeah, showbiz, showbiz. Have you gotten to work for Tyler Perry yet?
Not yet. I've auditioned. I've auditioned a lot for him. I think some callbacks and stuff like that. No, but not yet. Not yet. Hope so, but not yet. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard he bought like half like an army base out there and just put all sound stages out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. My understanding is he bought a very large piece of property and built sound stages and I think some like replica monument sets. Like I think there's a replica White House there, that kind of stuff. Smart. It's very smart.
Yeah, it's great to see, all you Atlanta actors getting more of a opportunity, you don't just have to be in LA anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's a wild time to be here because this is kind of my backyard. And I thought, I don't know. I thought I had to go to California, and I'm getting opportunities here that I wouldn't get there. And my friends who have gone to California is great, but my friends who are gone there, a lot of them are coming back, and um, I, I probably could have made it work out there, but I had so many more resources here and so many more connections here. And then things started taking off, and it just seemed like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna work here because I'm working because I'm booking. Great.
A lot cheaper to live there too.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Are you in
Yeah,
California
it's like
or where are you?
North Carolina.
Ah, yes. I know North Carolina. I've
Yeah,
shot things there.
like oh really?
Yeah, lots of like
Can you
commercials and stuff.
remember? Oh, okay, yeah. Like they shoot very few things, just a little bit, not too much. They
Yeah.
shot some Hallmark movie in Charlotte a few months ago, but yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine writes a bunch
So
of those.
out in Atlanta. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Last question. What is your, I guess, next biggest goal you'd like to achieve in the industry?
Oh, that's great. Well, and this is since we're in Atlanta and we're not in California. Uh, I made the leap and I went union this year, which is the norm everywhere but here.
wow.
It feels like, yeah. But here it's a little different, and I was scared of it at first, and now I'm really happy about it, and it's great, and things are going really well. I think, my kind of career goal is like I'd like to be the guy who's kind of in everything, even if you don't quite know who he is. He's like, that guy, he's in everything. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of working towards that. And I'd like to do that with, bigger projects, of course.
For sure.
I mean, that's what all the actors want. But, I think here's what it is. I want to be a part of something that, like a series that gets to be on people's TVs and streaming devices regularly, because I feel like serial storytelling,
Absolutely.
like Cobra Kai and stuff like that, can touch an audience and can stay with an audience and can have characters affect an audience in a way that nothing else can. So I'd like to be a part of a series that people care about one day. Not so much about my part of it, but just a series that people really, really care about. So Cobra Kai was a nice tip in that direction. I'd like to do more stuff like that.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on. It was great to be able to speak with you.
It was nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great meeting you too. Hope you have a great one and good luck with everything, with the rest of the year.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, will do, man. All right.